Okay, well, this is Mr. Johnson, and I'm here to help you a little bit if you weren't here for the butane lab or if you need a little preparation. I'll just go through it, and you can write down this data that I get and do your calculations with this using the paper on the website or the one you picked up from class. So you're going to need, we use a lot of this equipment here that I've got out in front of you. This is called a pneumatic trough. Generally speaking, this little spout here is over the sink. So like if this has water in it, if the water runs over during the experiment, this will allow the water to go in the sink and not flood the tabletop. Also, we have a graduated cylinder. Normally this collar is on there to keep it from breaking. If it happens to fall over, it hits the collar there and it doesn't break this. But we're going to need to take that off today for this experiment. And also this base comes off. We're going to take off this. Now, this is what we're going to use to collect the butane in because it's got calibrations on it. It's got little marks on there that can be read, and we can tell the volume. So I'm going to submerge this in the water, and I'm doing that now. I've submerged it in the water in the pan. I'm going to stand it up, and you can see now, I think, that this is filled with water. And so that part's ready. Now I have a lighter with butane in it. You can see that the butane is a liquid in there right now, and I'm going to weigh this whole lighter right here. First, I don't know if the balance is on. I guess it's not on, so let me turn it on. Okay. I'm going to need to stop here for a minute and get a balance that works. Okay, now I'm back. I'm back with the balance that works. Here it is. It's reading 0, but I'm going to put the butane, a lighter on there, and now you can see it reads 11.52 grams. So you're going to have to write that down because you're going to need that number a little bit. 11.52 grams. Now, this lighter, I've taken the part off of it to set fire, but it can still release the butane out of this. I'm going to stick this underwater, under the mouth of this, and let the butane bubble in to this container. So here we go. Letting it bubble in now. Can you see the little bubbles coming up in there and filling this up? Now it's going kind of slow. There's an adjustment on these that can make it go faster. I'm going to see if I can make it go a little faster by adjusting it. There, that's a little faster. I like that better because I won't have to be here all day doing this. As you can see those bubbles going up in there. Those are bubbles of butane gas. Okay? And as they go in here, they're shoving the water out. The water is going into the tray. That's why I need that over the sink in case it runs over. And so the water's going into the tray, and this is filling with butane. It's clear. It's clear like air. Okay? I don't know. I don't need a whole full. I do want to stop it before I run out of marks on my graduated cylinder. So I'm going to stop it right there. Okay. And now I'm going to read the volume. I'm going to read the volume of gas that's in my graduated cylinder, and the reading is 88 milliliters. So I'm going to need to write that down. 88 milliliters. I got 88 milliliters of butane in there. Okay. Now this really needs. We got to weigh this again, but it's got a lot of water on it, so I got to get all the water off. So you can kind of shake it, and you can see the water come flying out of there. Well, once the water quits kind of flying out of there, you can blow on a little bit. You can put it under a hairdryer, would even be better. We had some hair dryers out during the lab, but I don't want to go to the trouble to get it now. So anyway, dry it out really good. Shake the water out again. You really got to get that water out of there because if you got the water in there, that's going to mess it up when we weigh it again. Okay, because we got to weigh it again. Now, what are you expecting the weight to be? More or less or the same? Well, you should have said less. We let stuff out of it, so it should weigh less, right? So let's see if it does weigh less. And right now, it weighs 11.34 grams. I better write that down. 11.34 grams is what it weighs now. Okay, I'm going to need that. So I'm going to set that aside. Now I need two more bits of information. I have to go over to the barometer and read the air pressure. So I already looked at it before I started the tape, and it's the barometer over there reads 76.5 centimeters of mercury. You're gonna need to write that down. The pressure today is 76.5 centimeters of mercury, and I need the temperature of the butane, and I happen to have a thermometer here. Of course, the temperature of the butane is the same as the temperature of the water that it bubbled through, and that's going to be at just about room temperature. So you should have a pretty good idea of what its temperature is. I'm hoping you're saying probably around 25, Mr. Johnson, and you're right. It's 24 degrees Celsius. Okay, so I better write that down. Temperature of the butane, 24 degrees Celsius. Okay, now we got to get rid of the butane. Normally we would go over to the fume hood to do this, but since it's just you and me here, we'll do it right here because the camera's right here. Okay, I'm gonna need, I forgot my fire. Hold on a minute, let me go get it. Okay, well, I'm back again, and this is taking me a while. I've had to interrupt a couple times, but I think I'm ready now. I got to get rid of this butane, and so I can lift it under here, and I can take it over the fume hood like this, boom, 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 boom. But I'm just going to light it up here so you can see it. I'm going to put some fire right up here, and if it's butane, it should catch on fire. Ooh, by golly, it does catch on fire. Let's check this out. I'm going to do this. Whoa, look at that. That should tell you something about the density of butane. You might see a little black smoke and a little bit of soot kind of builds up in there. Okay, the soot or the black smoke, that's some carbon that's not completely combusted when the butane burns.
Step by the office, please.
The butane is got a formula C4H10, and when it burns, it makes carbon dioxide and water, like all hydrocarbons do. But sometimes the carbon doesn't get all the way burned, and that's the black smoke, a little bit of soot that gets there. So now we're ready for really the important part, which is using the numbers that we got to do the calculations with moles in the ideal gas law. Go get the paper off the internet or my handout, and you should be able to crunch the numbers and see how things came out. Ask me if you need help.